Well, time marches on, and earlier in the summer, so did I. Or at least I tried, when I went on parade with the Breaston Highlanders. The Breaston Highlanders from Long Eaton, Derbyshire, getting in a last-minute practice before a competition. It's at Loughborough's Southfields Park, and they're competing against some of the top teams in the Carnival Band Secretaries League. The Highlanders bandmaster is Bert Cook, and he keeps the band up to the mark with practice twice a week throughout the year. If he sees anything he doesn't like, he says so.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What's happening then? Right. Can you all come in a little way, please? Just bunch up a bit. Now, you're doing it all wrong. What have I just been telling you before you came on? What about this spacing I was telling you about, right? How many paces? 4 paces this spacing's supposed to be. And what about these shoulders as well? Let's see these shoulders back, right? I've always taught you to do it. Heads up, yes? Arms straight down by your sides, and this marking time. We don't want any of this business, right? Want it done properly, like I've told you to do.
Bert, as bandmaster, what do you look for in rehearsal?
Well, my own sort of section is looking at the marching. There are different section leaders to learn the brass, and there is a section leader to learn the drummers, and there's a section leader to learn the pipers. And I do the overall, knit the whole lot together. And on the displays, we look for, obviously, entertainment value for the public, precision marching, Highland dancing, the uniform, which we're proud of, which is a Highland dress, and as I say, the entertainment of the public and the enjoyment of the members, I think, as well.
Now, you said your speciality is the marching. So how do you plan that?
Well, I start off with a graph paper or something similar, onto which I select the graph squares. I call that graph square, say, 1 pace, or 2 paces, whatever it might be, right? So you can see from this particular line here that that particular person, which is the first leader, has marched onto the arena so many paces. In this case, it's 2, 4, 6, 8 paces, right? Sorry, 8, 10, 12. Then out, back, round, and so on.
It all looks very complicated to me. Now, the last time I marched was in the Sea Scouts, which is, well, it doesn't matter how many years ago. Do you think I could have a go?
Of course you could, yes, why not? Right, I think we can find this place here somewhere. Attention! Just like to have a walk down here. How about this place here?
There?
Uh-huh.
Do I get to use a drum?
No, I'm afraid not now. Just off from the left. You said you've been in the Sea Scout.
You have to keep a straight face.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Not too serious, not too serious. No, I want to see you smiling.
2, 3, 4.
The Breaston Highlanders were founded as long ago as 1931, when the marching band movement spread all over the country as people sought ways of taking their minds off the Depression. Today, the membership of the band spans 3 generations, and they get the chance to travel about this country and to the continent, performing in functions and competitions. The marchers have to remember all the moves for a 15-minute display. It's harder than it looks, and it doesn't look easy. After a minute or so, I was confused as well as deafened. You know, it's a darn sight harder than you think, isn't it? I thought I got it right, you know, from the Sea Scout training. The first bit was when everybody split up. But how did I do?
Well, not too bad the first time, but obviously you didn't start in this position, did you?
No.
I think, in actual fact, when I put you in the band in the first place, you was amongst the drummers.
Well, I lost them.
Yes, well, this is the whole idea, as I explained to you, with the display, you see.
Everybody split up and I was on my own.
Well, you can understand that it requires a lot of practice, hours of practice in actual fact, and the band practices 2 or 3 times a week. You know, in fairness to you, you didn't do too bad for the first time.
The Highlanders' uniform is a hunting Stuart kilt, tunics, Glengarrys, sporrans and spats. While the band are waiting for the competition to start, beady eyes check every detail from top to bottom because points are deducted for bad dress. Meanwhile, the judges and band secretaries are briefed.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The 3 judges are present. That's the marching, the display and the music judge. Sergeant Elliott on marching, Sergeant Pacey on display, Sergeant McGee on music. Rules of the contest for you 3, although you've received them. I'll run through them briefly. First of all, marching and deportment. Folks to be judged on military lines, and our only request is that all bands from first to last are judged on the same basis and folks denoted on the judging sheets.
One of the Highlanders' rivals at Loughborough is the Derby Regalia Band. Although the marching is more or less standard, the bands develop a personality of their own.
There is 3 subjects: marching, display, music and dress. 4 adjudicators. Each judge has 25 points to start with, and points are deducted for mistakes made out in the arena by the band on each of those 4 subjects. On the marching, you've got the band's in formation, so therefore you're looking to make sure that each file is correct in its alignment. On the dress, it's a case of uniformity. If the judge considers that someone's uniform is not being worn quite as correct as another member's, or the vast majority of the members, then a point is deducted for that mistake. The display judge more or less covers the routines. This is the most difficult subject for a layman to judge, is the display, because he's got to take everything into account in relation to the correct turnings in the display and the figure marches, and also the entertainment value presented by that band.
Well, the Highlanders were placed 4th in the Loughborough competition, but the winners, who've been winning most things since 1949, were the Derby Serenaders, bringing a touch of the Mediterranean to our chilly Midland summer.
So that's it for the present series. We've enjoyed ourselves and we hope that you have too.
If there's any further information you'd like about any of the items in this series, do drop us a line about the ones that particularly interest you.
And if you've got a spare time activity that you think will interest us, then do write. For now,
Good
good
night.
night.